This episode of The Marketing Show is brought to you by Quest, New Zealand's most respected digital marketing agency, where marketing is made easy.
Welcome to the Quest Marketing Show, a show specifically designed to help marketers learn and succeed. In this episode, you'll meet Caro Uttley. She's one of our Quest Marketing digital stars, and she's been the brains behind some of our most successful campaigns. So let's get started. Caro, thanks so much for being here on the Quest Marketing Show. We really appreciate your time, and I know how busy you've been lately. Hey, tell us about this amazing pink outfit you've got on today.
Well, thank you for noticing, Hamish. Yes, I am a pink girl. I do like pink. Part of this is holding this crazy mop of hair in that I have at the moment, so it's there is a function with it as well. But yeah, pink's one of my colours. In fact, if you came to my house, Hamish, I know you've been there, you will know how pink things get there, along with turquoise and hot bright yellows. Pop, 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 pop. Nobody can fall asleep in my house.
Well, as we know as marketers, it's about getting noticed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And look, also great to see your hair's grown a lot since I last saw you. You had a bit of a difficult time last year.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was I never felt sick, but yes, I did go through breast cancer, as so many women do, unfortunately, and it was actually a really positive experience for me. I was one of the fortunate ones that didn't sort of suffer. I sailed through it, to be honest, which makes me feel guilty about all the people that don't. But I found it a really positive, empowering experience, to be honest, because it really does make you, put a stake in the ground and go, crikey, there is only one life. And I was super healthy, Hamish, you know me. I was at the gym all the time. I eat super healthy, and then bang, nothing's hurting, but you get this thing. But it was fantastic because it did make me refocus and think, right, crikey, I got to make sure everything I do matters, and let's get out there and do it and make a difference in this world. It's important to be positive and make a difference. Yeah, well, you've just done so well, and our whole team has seen that, and right throughout that health experience and scare that you had, you continued to do your digital success manager's role with us, and did a fantastic job of that, looking after our clients. We really appreciate that. Caro, I'm sure our audience would be really interested to know what it takes to launch and craft a successful marketing campaign. I know that you've been doing some really interesting work over the last couple of years for Quest in your role. What are the key campaign experiences you can tell us about that our audience could learn from? Well, Hamish, that's a teensy-weeny question, isn't it? Thinking about one of my client projects that I work with, initially, clearly you have to get to know the customer really well. You need to understand where their business is at, what they're trying to achieve for the business, and another huge part of it is understanding who their client audience is. Right, so just breaking that down, you're saying strategy first, then understanding your customer second. So those are distinctly different tasks, aren't they? You're so right, Hamish. So many times in marketing, people make the mistake, or businesses make the mistake, of trying to talk to everybody. We know if you're trying to talk to everybody, essentially, you're probably talking to nobody. You really do need to understand who your audience is. And from my perspective, from the strategy thing, it was then going and speaking to the audience and finding out, well, what's their understanding of the business, and identifying where the gaps are, I guess, so that we could then work with the business to fill those gaps and make their communications clearer to their chosen audience. So let's just think about that strategy piece. What sort of involvement did you have that one project that you're talking about? And obviously we can't name names here. What did that involve? You were working with a management team, with a board, stakeholders? How did all that happen? Yes, well, and the one I've got in my mind, I was working with the management team, and they do report to a board, so we were having to tick boxes with them as well. But we did a strategy, which a full marketing strategy, including social media, which is, everybody's got to get on board with that these days, whether you like it or not. And obviously some of these older businesses or with older clients forget that is part of the game these days.
So what forms of research were conducted on behalf of the client?
So we went with SurveyMonkey, which worked nicely because we were already engaged with this client with MailChimp, so that worked well to communicate to that audience. So we had quite a comprehensive survey which we did online, plus we chose some phone interviews as well, so that was backed up.
Okay, so the SurveyMonkey was probably more the quantitative bit where they were talking to their large database of
Yes.
clients, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And then
Yeah.
you did more of the in-depth telephone interviews, which was
correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
more the qualitative bit.
That's right. And there were prizes on the line as well, because like everybody gets asked to do interviews all the time, and so again, going back to that whole audience piece, what was going to work for this audience, and in our case we were working with farmers, well, what would work for them and be attractive to make them want to fill this thing in.
Sure. So you were using interview incentives basically to get them involved.
Yeah.
So what were the key learnings from that?
Whoa, well, so that's a really big question, and we did deal with two different audiences as well. There were the farmers themselves, and then there were some particular risk groups in this area. And we realised that there were a lot of gaps in terms of their understanding of the current situation. Many of them didn't know this organisation from the branding perspective, and I guess really we just weren't, the messages were just not getting out there. So we really had to up our game in terms of communication and making it more attractive communication as well, engaging, I think is the word actually. That was really what we wanted to do, is engage them more.
How did the next phase then of the marketing campaign roll out in response to that? The strategy work you'd done, the research work that you'd done that obviously identified these gaps.
Yeah.
What were the next deliverables, for the client? What did that involve?
Yeah. Well, so when we understood that we had segmented part of the audience to understand who our main, who we really wanted to talk to first, and so it's very much a part of talking directly to those audience, to that particular audience. So people will engage more if they can identify with it. So in the various audiences that we had identified, we had to actually craft our message with imagery and video to make those people sort of sit up and take notice. The first thing we decided we had to do was rebrand. Our messaging clearly wasn't resonating with our clients, and we really wanted to get their attention and speak more directly to the various audiences that we were wanting to reach. So we felt, and the board as well felt, that a rebrand was appropriate. So as part of that, we have done a wonderful rebrand. So we started, Hamish, with the website. We needed to have an engaging platform from which we could send people to, and also have resources available. So that was a huge part of it. Inside that website, we have put video stories, and really anyone that's not on board with video these days is missing out, because not only is it telling the story of our organisation, we also have our target audiences telling their story as well. So when we're trying to send people from social media, and in this particular instance we've chosen Facebook, when we're trying to send people to our website, we want them to be talking to, hearing from, listening to people that they engage with. Video is
a great way to engage an audience and be really immersive, but also a great way to communicate your ideas, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure. So Hamish, as you know, in marketing these days, it's all about educating, entertaining, or inspiring people. So that's what we're aiming to do, and everybody will get something different out of the resources that we're offering. But video is something that can reach people, because people do feel like you're speaking to them. And if you've got people that they can identify with, for instance, a farmer in our case, talking to a farmer, it's not some marketing person trying to talk to a farmer, they're talking to their peers, they're listening to their peers.
All right, so you're really talking about testimonials in the mix as well, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
So then you've got the company potentially not having to communicate their message, their clients are doing it for them and talking to prospective clients.
Oh, that's right. I agree. And the way that I think about it as a marketer is that my job is almost like method acting.